What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another MLB DFS video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section to enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is. It is the month, it is the stack up month leading up to the regular season of NFL. NFL last season, as you all know, if you were a part of it, we won 13 out of 17 weeks in single entry double ups. That's what we go off, win or losses. But there were some of them way at the top of contests, even in GPPs. But in single entry double up contests, which is what's recommended always, that's the most easy way to cash in DFS. That's the most consistent way. You know, we're all about consistency with those big ones mixed in. 13 of 17 weeks. The NFL season package, with that being said, is over 25% off at the moment. It's an early bird special. We're only allowing it for probably another maybe a week, almost a week, maybe. A lot of people have flooded in and gotten it. So once that gets up to a certain amount of people, we're going to stop it. We don't want a ton of people on the season long. But so if you want to lock in for the season and you want over 25% off, go ahead and grab that now. The NFL season already is cheaper than if you played each week with us. So make sure you lock in NFL season package. You can find that at greenlightdfs.com under membership packages. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Oh yeah, and included in NFL is college football as well. And then this year, every week we're gonna have player props added as well that we didn't have every week of last season. So it's gonna be an even bigger season this year than it was last. All right, let's get into the MLB picks for today. All right, we have a nice little juicy slate on tap for us and a good little vibe going on what I'm thinking is the way to go today. Now, first and foremost, there's some decent value guys on this slate today. When it comes to pitching, there's a very solid SP2 that I'm interested in and a very solid SP1 I'm interested in. The two guys above the rest are going to be Shohei Ohtani for me and Yu Darvish. Both in fantastic positions today, both in great spots to succeed. Don't love many of the other positions these other pitchers are in. So these two guys really stick out as, light years above the rest for me. Most of the versions I've been building, as you know, throughout the day, I'll build a bunch of different versions and finally hone in on my favorite version by the end of the day. Um, Pretty much all my favorite versions have had these two pitchers. And the ones that didn't ended up having them once I realized, okay, yeah, this value goes in here and it allows me to get those pitchers I need. And never sacrifice pitching for bats. Always get your pitching right, and then figure out where you can save at batting because it just is what it is. All right. So moving on to the hitters. First play that we're gonna do is we're gonna spend up on Rafael Devers. Devers is an elite option, and he's only 5'2". If you look at hitters in general on the tool, you look at projections. Devers is the second highest projected bat on this slate, but yet he's 5'2". He's 1,200 less than Aaron Judge. He's 400 less than Bobby Witt. He is 1,600 less than Acuna, 1,000 less than Tatis, but he is an elite level up there in those range of guys. So he's way too cheap for this spot. Winds blowing out to right in Boston. Great spot for Rafael Devers. Absolutely love this dude today. I think he's going to have a 20-plus performance if I'm just going to wing a projection for him. I think he's going to have an absolutely huge performance today. I think he goes off, to be honest. All right. Next up, there's a value guy that I really like. Let's go ahead and start with Duran, though. Another Boston guy. This gets you some more Boston exposure for low 4Ks. Again, an elite level play. A guy who can steal bases like crazy at home, wind blowing out to right, a lefty. Duran all around can do it. He's got some pop in his bat. He's also got some speed in them feet, and he can steal some bases as well as do damage by hitting home runs and stuff like that. So love Jarren Duran at 4-1. Way too cheap. As you can see, he's priced up here with the elites. As you can see so far, Boston guys really pop for me. Adam Duvall at 4-4 is also projected extremely high. So Boston really grades out high with me. Winds blowing out. They're at home in Boston. It's just a great spot. All right. Last but not least for value, I'm going to go back to a value I've really been leaning on lately. He hasn't done a ton over the last couple games, but he did score 7 last night and then 8 the other night. So he's not doing bad. He's just a solid overall value for me in a good game spot. Jake Bauers. Jake Bauers is expected to lead off once again. He's a lead off bat, lefty righty split, and he's only 2.8. So he really opens things up. You can put Bowers at first or the outfield. Depends on roster construction. As you know, I spend a lot of time on roster construction every day. That is one of the main things for me because I already kind of know the data of all these guys. I've been playing this for so long. You got to understand, I've been doing this for like 8+ years daily, all day. So I know these guys pretty well. So I automatically know numbers in my head of these guys automatically. One of the biggest things, though, is putting guys in the right spots. Yes, I brush up on my knowledge and I verify that I'm thinking correctly on players as well. Like, I don't just go off of memory. I make sure I validate it as well, but most times I'm pretty accurate when it comes to knowing how guys are going to do in certain matchup types. Roster construction is where it's the most interesting because you move guys around, you play with putting guys in different spots, and then you can end up landing on perfection. And that's the best feeling in the world when you're working on roster construction for a while. Finally, you land on something, you're like, oh shit, this is perfect. You know what I'm saying? And then, regardless of what the outcome is, you know that you put all day's effort into making sure it is perfect and the most optimal before the slate starts. And that's where Greenlight DFS shines. You know that every day you're going to be put in the most optimal position to be successful. Regardless of what the outcome comes, you know the work and the how optimal that line's going to be once you play it, and you know you're going to be playing something that's professional. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we don't know 100% about how guys are going to play. You can only go off of the information you have available to you. So unfortunately, sometimes guys are in fantastic spots and just don't go out and perform in that amazing spot, and you got to take your licks when they come. But for the most part, you lock in, you study this shit, you do the right thing, good things come from it. All right? So that's it. Shohei Ohtani, Yu Darvish, Jake Bowers, Rafael Devers, and Duran are the core for DraftKings. Let's switch over to FanDuel. Look at what we're Take a look at what we're looking like over here. All right, first off, let's check pitchers. All right, Shohei's 11-2, Darvish is 9-8. Shohei's my overall favorite pitcher, so let's try to go Shohei first. Looking at bats, Adam Duvall's only 2.9. Wow. That immediately jumps out. Devers is only 3.5. Elite option immediately jumps out. Cassis at 2.8. Wow. Boston's way too cheap, y'all. Vladimir Guerrero at 3.2. Too cheap. Boston is way too cheap, and it's going to be fairly easy to get Ohtani in, I believe. Um, yeah, I believe it's going to be pretty easy to get Ohtani. There's plenty of value on this slate as I'm seeing so far. Let's sort point per salary and really see who's popping hard. Urias is just a plug and play. He doesn't have the greatest numbers if you look at his stats, but he's just a plug and play guy. If he gets a base hit, you're kind of happy. You know what I mean? Because he's just literally bare min almost. Um, yeah, I mean Boston sticks out to me on FanDuel. My God, Massey can be another value to throw in there. Stanton, let's put Stanton and his upside possibilities there. He grades out as one of the top value bats of the slate. But yeah, keyword on FanDuel: Boston. Keyword: Boston. All right. Lock in some Boston over on FanDuel. Shohei Ohtani is my overall favorite pitcher, but if you need to save some money, you can definitely do so by dropping down to our other option that we like on this slate, Yu Darvish. But yeah, overall, that's it. Ohtani, Boston, Devers, Duvall, Cassis, and then Stanton as a guy that's out of Boston. I didn't want to just do Boston guys. Obviously, you can't do a lineup of 8 Boston guys. But Stanton grades out as one of the better value options at only 3K in his matchup today. All right? Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. Good luck today. Let's get to this money. GreenlightDFS.com to join the squad if you want to have the most optimal lineup possible. Come 30 minutes before that slate, then you know what to do. Greenlight DFS. Let's get it. I'm out.